Janine Stanley, Director of Customer Success and Engagement here at Aira, and we have been pleased to bring you the presidential and vice presidential debates this year. For the vice presidential debates, we took a little bit of a different tack based on your feedback. We are providing our visual interpreting at the breaks in the debate. So what I have done is to compile our interpreting. You'll hear short breaks between each segment, and we'll discuss what we saw during that segment and the important visual aspects. To learn more about Aira and visual interpreting, you can visit our website, www.aira.io. That's AIRA.io. You can also contact our customer care team, 1-800-835-1934, or support at aira.io. And thank you for joining us here at Aira for the visual interpreting of the vice presidential debate. I'm Janine Stanley, and I would like to introduce our visual interpreter, Samantha. Hi, Samantha.
Hello.
So let's get right to it during the break here. Let's talk about the stage. Where are our candidates standing, and what is that background? What does everything look like out there?
Absolutely. So the background is predominantly blue. There are a few different banners either above the candidates' heads, behind the moderators. It's a CBS News vice presidential debate. And then on either side of the podiums, there are banners that say America Decides 2024 in red, white, and blue coloring. Not a ton of descriptors there, or a ton of pictures like in the presidential debate. Where there were photos of buildings. It's just strictly blue, maybe a shadowing of stars in that background, but it's very straightforward with the candidates each standing behind a mostly see-through lectern where I believe Vance is standing behind a red lectern and Walt is behind a blue one.
Interesting. And those colors were definitely not displayed like that during the presidential debate, I don't think.
No, they were not.
So let's go for a description of the candidates themselves. What are they wearing? What do they look like? And maybe what are some of their key gestures?
Absolutely. So, Walls is wearing a black suit with a white shirt and a blue tie. Vance is wearing a navy suit, again with a white shirt, and his tie is a red cross-stitched tie. Both of them have been fairly similar for all areas of the debate in each of the questions. Governor Walz has been mostly straight-faced, wide-eyed, occasionally holding a pen that he's been using to take notes, and gesturing with his hands and looking straight down the barrel of the camera. Senator Vance has been, again, also gesturing with his hands towards the camera, towards the walls, straight-faced and wide eyes, occasionally blinking more frequently than at other times. And each of them have been looking at the respondent. So whoever is talking, their opponent is looking at them. And if, for example, when Governor Walz was referring to Senator Vance, he would gesture with his hands potentially towards him. When Senator Vance was referring to or speaking to Walz, he would look at him in his direction. Both of them would also potentially look at the moderator during the actual question portion, or if they were responding to a direct question. Otherwise, they were both looking straight into the camera.
Anything else? We have about a minute left until we return to the debate. Anything else that you have noticed that you'd like to bring to our attention?
Again, each of the different categories that they've discussed, their gestures have been very similar between each of them. Vance did have some moments of slight smirking, including right before the last commercial, and both of them during the more personal aspects of the last set of questions were furrowing their brows a little bit more. compared to the rest. But again, very even and very similar across the debate and very level, generally relaxed faces, both of them, similar hand gestures, as well as just very relaxed faces unless they were pursing their lips.
Thank you so much, Samantha, for that description. We will return now to the debate, and
welcome back to the CBS News.
We will return with more description after another break.
Gun violence.
And thank you for joining us here at Aira as we provide visual interpreting for the vice presidential debate. Hello, Samantha. We are back. So, what have we noticed in this round of questions and answers?
I think in this round, for Senator Vance, we did see a few moments where he was smiling when referring to his kids and his wife during those questions. He's also been smirking occasionally during Governor Walz's some of his responses, specifically in the housing and democracy categories or question sections, smirking during Walz's responses and during his own rebuttals. As for Governor Walz, still very steady with wide eyes and gesturing towards camera, multiple palms up gestures, as well as both candidates smiling and laughing in those a couple moments. And additionally, last comments for Governor Walz during his response for or regarding the regarding democracy and transfer of power. There are a few moments where he raised his eyebrows during his own response, as well as furrowing his brows during Vance's rebuttal. But for general response, faces, demeanors, majority of their reactions and body language during their actual responses were the same steady general hand gestures, none necessarily too wild for either of them, as well as just calm, mostly relaxed faces, being straight and looking at either the camera, their opponent, or very occasionally at the moderators during the actual questions.
Thank you so much. And in our final moment here between sets of questions during this particular debate, we'd like to remind you that if you have comments about our coverage of the presidential and vice presidential debates, you can address those to support at Aira.io. We may also have some survey tools out for you very soon. So we are going to be returning to the vice presidential debate for, I believe, the final segment here. And thank you so much, Samantha. We will return after this final segment. We are here to provide visual interpreting for you. We hope you have enjoyed this evening and been able to get some good information from it, from the nonverbals that I think are so important in times like this and for events like this. Just to give you a little preview, our next event we'll have two of them for you. We will have some material from the Enabling Conference, but we will also have the NFB Rideshare Rally on October 15th, and that will be broadcast here on the Aira app. So you will want to stay tuned for more details about that, the Enabling Summit, and a number of other exciting things coming with Aira in the very near future. Let me give you one more thing before we return you to the debate, just to remind everyone that you can get free Aira through our Build AI program. That's 10 minutes of free Aira every 30 minutes and the ability to share your data to help make a better AI for blind and low vision people. If you'd like more information about that, you can take a look at the Aira app under Preferences, under the More tab, and that will give you some great information about the Build AI program, which we really hope you'll take part in. And now, back to the vice presidential debate. And we'd like to thank all of you out there who are listening to Ira's visual interpreting of the vice presidential debate. We hope that this system worked a bit better for folks who wanted to listen to the actual debate and then get some of the visuals at a different time. I'm going to be summarizing all of this and putting it out on our YouTube channel so that those of you maybe who did not get a chance to listen to the debate but who would like some of these nonverbals and some of the great descriptions that Samantha has provided, you will get a chance to check those out. And we should have those up probably by Thursday. So be looking for those. Samantha, anything else that we can take away from the debate in terms of visually interpreting and description?
Thanks, Janine. I think these two candidates, this was a less dynamic and ever-changing series of reactions and body language as compared to the last debate. Both gentlemen were straight-faced, wide-eyed, very engaging with each other. And I think that we covered all of the high points, and those did not change during their closing arguments. I think those few characteristics really represented them throughout the entirety of the debate, with those occasional moments of either showing some joy and smiling or some concern. But I think we've got everything for these two for the evening.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being our visual interpreter this evening. As I noted, we will possibly be providing some survey tools for all of you who have been engaging in our events, so stay tuned for some of those. We'll be back with you concerning events on the 15th of October with the NFB Rideshare Rally and the M-Enabling Summit. So stay tuned for those two particular events and much more. We'll have some special IRAcast programming for you coming up toward the end of October. It is also National Disability Employment Awareness Month. Keep watching our social media, folks, because you're going to see some great stuff there about not only our staff, but you as our customers out there who are employed and using Aira. We appreciate everyone out there. If you have questions or comments, you can send your notes to support@aira.io or iracast@aira.io, either one. I'm Janine Stanley for Aira. I wish everyone a good night and please stay safe.